Gimbal or gamble? We asked that question in this episode of Tech Tips. Welcome to Tech Tips. In this show we'll be exploring and finding out about the all-new gimbal from FeiyuTech, the G5GS for the Sony Action Cam. Gimbals have been around for a while now and have helped numerous creators in their bid to make better, more professional looking video. But the big question you may be asking right now is, why would I need a piece of equipment like the new G5GS Gimbal when my camera has built-in optical stabilization, or BOS? FeiyuTech are one of the leaders in producing kit like this. The one thing we like is it works right out of the box. There's no messy configurations to get going. However, there is a FeiyuTech app where you can download firmware upgrades and make adjustments to the gimbal via the Bluetooth connection. As the operator, you'll first see the status indicator. Below this is the large joystick, next down is the function button, and finally the red button, which can be used to put the camera into selfie mode or as a self-timer shortcut. There are 5 functions the gimbal can do. 1 click is pan mode, for 2 clicks it's follow mode, 3 clicks will get you into selfie, 4 clicks is a motion control mode where both pan and tilt can be rotated. For 5 clicks this is initialization, where the gimbal will reset itself after a long period of non-use, or the camera fails to balance, or even under extreme temperature changes. It's a simple operation to balance the camera with the 1/4 inch thumb screw below the holding plate. Just center your camera and adjust accordingly. You're then ready to go. The gimbal will function in all directions, including fully inverted for those low to the ground shots. Now if you have any problems, just press the rear side reset button twice to set the gimbal back to its default pan mode. We set off to Salsey Forest in Northamptonshire to test out the new gimbal. Now before I say any more, this was the first time we'd ever used a gimbal, and it was right out of the box and after the battery charge. The treetop walk seemed like a great place to test, and although it was a cold, overcast day with a chilly breeze, the gimbal worked well. Learning all the different control clicks to set the gimbal into mode took a few tries, but we soon got to grips with the functionality and managed to produce some pretty good steady, smooth shots. Now to answer the question from earlier, why would you need a gimbal when the Sony Action Cam has a built-in optical stabilization system? Well, it's simple, it just works so much better. We noticed when using the Sony handheld you would always get movement in the shot when walking. Now by using the gimbal and having the BOS switched on, this virtually eliminates any sort of bouncing effect when walking at pace or even running. But as with all things like this, practice makes perfect, so don't expect to become an expert in 1 or 2 attempts. Continued use will ensure you eventually become proficient to get some very good looking professional images. The treetop walk at Salsey Forest is a great way to spend a morning or longer, especially in the summer months. The actual frame you walk on is very bouncy, but the gimbal coped really well, and this was more profound when large numbers of people were walking on the same sections. It was great to see how the gimbal coped with things like steps up and down. It held the camera very steady, and as you see, the smoothness was excellent. Now as you climb higher through the canopy, eventually you'll come out at the top with some fantastic views over the Northants countryside. Other things to note about the G5GS Gimbal is that it's splash proof, so no need to worry if it starts to rain while making your video. The gimbal has slip ring motors, which means it can rotate in the pan and tilt mode a full 360 degrees. The handle is made from metal and silicon and weighs in at 314 grams. That does not include the camera or the battery. The new app from FeiyuTech, On, offers functions such as mode switching, angle changing, parameter settings, and the ability to set the gimbal motion control mode for time lapse. At the bottom of the handle there's a 1/4" thread mount to enable the gimbal to be fitted to a tripod. Now you can get some great auto-rotate time-lapse, and this is something we have yet to try. As for power, well, the gimbal uses a 22650 flathead battery, which should give you around 7 hours of use when fully charged. As an extra item to our growing kit of video equipment, we think the new G5GS from FeiyuTech is a winner, and at a very affordable price. Our overall first impressions of this gimbal are very good. This was by no means a gamble, and if it was, it will certainly pay off for us as we continue to create new videos in the future. It all comes packed in a good looking case that zips and makes transportation very easy, whether you're putting it in a backpack or your suitcase to take on holiday. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.